Sunoco Special Saloons is brought to you by HP Electronics. Hello and welcome to Jyllandsring in Denmark. Outside, the farmers are busy bringing in the harvest, but inside, the thousands of spectators are enjoying the summer sunshine and preparing themselves for round 4 of the Sunoco Special Saloons at Grand Prix Denmark, where the overall position in the points table sees Martin Vettel in the lead, Christian Siepmann is breathing down his neck, and Hans Hartmann is third. Now let's talk to some of the favourites.
We have been working all night, finding out that there was some wires that went from the ECU to up to the wheel, and we have changed all that during the night, and now we hope that everything is all right.
So you've got everything crossed, have you?
Everything is crossed. We have not started up the engine yet because we are not allowed so far this morning, but in an hour we will start it up, and hopefully all the gears are there, also when you want them to be there. So we fingers crossed.
It's like this, the Grand Prix on Jyllandsring is the most spectacular race in Denmark at the year. All our sponsors, they want to come here. Today we have, I think, just a little over 80 people coming by. It's nice. I have a good crew that takes care of them, and we're looking forward today to a very nice Sunday. We have nice weather, and I hope for a good race.
So it's race time, and first today it's the prototypes, the Porsches, the Ferraris and the BMWs amongst the 28 starters. And first into the bend it's Klaus Christensen with his Aquila, Roger Hermansen in Porsche second, closely followed by Siepmann and Joachim Ottesen, and all safely on their way. There was a drivers' meeting before the start where race leader Jens Munkholm read them the riot act after several incidents in the previous race, and it seems to have worked. The Norwegian Gisle Verlin in his Ferrari trying to sneak through on the inside, but Siepmann closing the door and holding on to third place. But he can be sure that Verlin will be trying again and again. Verlin comes from Skien and has the Ferrari franchise in Norway. Nice. And already Klaus Christensen has opened up quite a lead from Hermansen, Siepmann and Verlin. The Aquila has been constantly dogged by problems, and after electrical issues yesterday, his team worked into the night trying to locate what was wrong, and it seems they were successful. And now he's where he likes to be, and that's in the front. As Siepmann mentioned, the Grand Prix is the major motorsports event meet in Denmark, and Siepmann is not disappointing his over 80 guests, maintaining his third place behind Hermansen, who also comes from Skien, and he's been driving for 14 years, and his Porsche 997 is new this year. Back with the Aquila, and a clear track ahead of it. Jyllandsring was built in 1966 on an old gravel pit, and after 4 additions, it's now 2,300 metres long and covers an area of 63 hectares. Verlin is currently the leader in the Norwegian GT2 Championships, as they swing onto the newer part of Jyllandsring. Here's Dennis Holbeck's yellow and gold Aquila with Krista Gislerud in the black Stealth, who both failed to finish yesterday, and now they're trying to work their way through the field. This is the Toyota Supra of 30-year-old Jonas Siersen, who comes from Denmark's second largest city, Aarhus. He exploded his gearbox in the first event and now has a new fuel system. 507, that's the Beretta of Knud Erik Sorensen, making space for Holbeck and Gislerud to pass on the inside. Krista won the first 6 races, but then missed the last event at Padborg Park as he was waiting for some brake discs from England. Well, he's got them now, and he has something to prove today. Hermansen still leading Siepmann and Verlin, and it could well stay that way because Siepmann is now receiving info from his pit crew, and they're telling him he's leading in his class, so there's no pressure to try and take the Porsche in front of him, so he's focusing on points, not position. About 25 Norwegians are here for the Grand Prix, and one of the Danes told me he loves it when they come here with their big engines and fat wallets. And at the moment, there are 3 big Norwegian engines in the top 5 of this race. 405 is the Ferrari of Preben Gundvig, with the Peugeot of Mikkel Carlsen in close attendance. He's driving in the RCZ Cup in France. And here's Johan Hansen in his Porsche, last year's overall champion, not having a good Grand Prix and desperately trying to find out why he's 2 seconds slower, but yet to find out why. And being passed here by Gislerud in his Stealth. There's a friendly rivalry between the Norwegians and the Danes, but outside the races, they're always prepared to help if they run into problems. Johannes Gravesen, who drives a Fiat Turbo, has a local workshop and finished just before 3 this morning, working on parts for 3 Norwegian teams so that they could compete today. That's Andreas Kjærgaard and his Scotty going wide to allow Hansen's Porsche to go through. Syerson's a mechanic by trade and has his own shop, but he's put fiberglass wings on his Supra. Back now with Gislerud, who's added the lime green stickers to his black Stealth so he can be easily seen by the others. Ooh, that's 40-year-old Holbeck in his Aquila trying to take the Corvette. Holbeck is a former world boxing champion and is part owner of a new training concept along with another boxer, Mikkel Kessler. Oh. Holbeck having a little moment there. And now he's got a few moments to regret it. Seaman continuing in 3rd place, but Velin has fallen back and that's given the Danes some breathing room. And it's almost back to square one for Holbeck, who has to begin all over again. But the leader is now beginning to lap some of the tail enders. Mikkel Carlsen, who has a problem with his Peugeot, Grunwig's Ferrari, and then Syerson's Supra are next on the list. There are 2 more events left on the Special Saloons programme, Ring Djursland and then Newlands Ring again, and both of these are scheduled for September. And it's now that Christensen has to be careful. Having a big lead is one thing, but successfully overtaking the tailenders is another. Making sure that they know he's coming, choosing the right moment and at the right part of the track. So it's definitely safety first for the Aquila. Nearing the end of the race now. The blue flag is out, warning the drivers that a faster car is on its way and to leave place so that it can pass safely. And that's what Christensen is doing. 401, Johan Hansen ahead of the Scotty with Andreas Kjærgaard. As we go on board Seatman's BMW, still in 3rd place, and now he has the task of tackling the tail enders. But I'm sure he's delighted with how it's gone so far. He's well on his way to winning his class in the Nordic Cup and extending his lead in his class in Special Saloons, so it's been a good day at the office so far. Velin is still in 4th place, but the white S-Type Jaguar of Joachim Ottesen is beginning to close, and he could be a threat. Joachim is 26 and comes from Oslo. Seatman, Velin, Ottesen. Oh dear, it looks like it's over and out for Christer Gislerud. Problems with his clutch this time, and it's not been a good Grand Prix for him. And Grunwig's Ferrari having a nice tussle with Syerson's Supra. Seatman taking the bread on the inside and Velin going outside, but it's still status quo at the front. Seatman has made several changes since the last event, including installing pedal shift. The Aquila lapping the Scotty as he continues to extend his lead. And now Gisler Velin needs to look in his rearview mirror because Ottesen's Jaguar means business as they enter the new section of Newlandsring again. Seatman moving past Mikkel Carlsen, who's definitely slowing right down. Velin in his footsteps, and Ottesen also moving past on the outside. Ooh, that was a little moment there, could have gone horribly wrong. Seaman trying to find space on the inside that wasn't there, but fortunately Grunwig let him through, and I'm sure he doesn't want any more of those little moments so close to the end of the race. Going through the gears. Moving to the front now with the white Porsche of Roger Hermansen, still in second spot, Seepman third, and Otterson has used the long straight to get past Gisela Verleen. 32 is the Dodge Viper of Jarl Nielsen, moving wide to let Seepman through. And Otterson's seen the gap and he's through also, and is on a charge. He's studying chemistry at Oslo and has his sights set on the North Sea oil business. But for the moment, Seepman's BMW is in his sights, and that's bad news for the Dane. They're coming round to approach the long straight now. This is the Norwegian's 8th year in special saloons. As he moves inside and says, "Third place is mine, thank you very much." But Seepman cuts inside and says, "Hey, don't take me for granted, mate." But the Jag pulls away. And Mikkel Carlsen is calling it a day in his Peugeot. As we look at the leader on his last lap, he's led from start to finish. There's not been a hint of his previous troubles, and he has a clear run to the checkered flag. Seepman is far from cruising to the finish. He's in the middle of a Norwegian sandwich, and Verleen is nibbling him from behind. Maybe he's got problems with his tyres, but he's almost home. Oh. Otterson had a little moment there, and he'll also be glad that he's almost in sight of the checkered flag. As they come round and follow Klaus Christiansen and his Aquila to the finish line. Mikkel Carlsen, Krista Gislerud, Kim Holmgaard and Lars Vedderbo failed to finish. And there's the lead. Now let's look at the official result. It seems that Christiansen is finally back to his winning ways, and a good drive from Otterson sees him charge into third place. Now let's get some after-race comments. So Klaus, that was the race you've been waiting for all season.
Yeah, finally everything came to a big dream for us, that we knew we had the speed, and that we had some electric problems, and hopefully they are gone now, so everything went smooth. A new track record as well, so it was perfect race.
Christian, were you happy with the race?
Yes, very happy. As I said before, we are going after the points, and as I see it, we got max points both in the Nordic Cup and in our class. So I'm very happy about the race, very.
Time for a short break. There's more special saloons on the way, so stay with us. Welcome back. Now let's talk to some of the favourites in the next race. And your white car has had a new paint job.
Yeah, it is dressed like an Aston Martin for the occasion today, and we have a lot of sponsors coming for the occasion today, and we wanted to show them a good race and a nice car in a nice dress.
So you're looking forward to today's race?
Yeah, it's really nice, and I'm on the inside, so it's a good position. I'm starting 7. If I can take 4 again, it's not so bad. So yeah, you need to have some balls when you take the first corners, but I'm willing to take the risk.
Yeah, it's looking okay. I have a pretty large margin down to Hartmann now, and I think it's Bjarne in the third place. He is very far away, so I just have to stay in front of Hartmann. But of course, there are still 6 races left in these 2 weekends, so everything can still happen.
Mikkel, you have a busy weekend.
Yes, I'm 2 classes this weekend, yes.
Why did you decide to take 2 classes?
I have my own car stand home. I couldn't sell it, so it had been there in 2 years. I think it was nice showing that it still can run.
Okay. And the other car?
And the other car is a Peugeot RCZ, which I drive in France, with the RCZ Cup in France. It is a very good series, but I had to show it in Denmark sometime.
What's it like driving in France compared to driving in Denmark?
It's the same, but it's different tracks, faster tracks. Jyllandsring is a small track with a lot of corners, and in France it's a more speed on.
So you're in the lead in your championship, aren't you?
Yeah, and yes, I lead with a good amount of points, so I'm not afraid, but I always want to gain more points so I can secure my leading. But I hope the next two races today will help me with that.
Now Class 2 and 3 are taking over. There are 24 to the start and about half of them are from Norway. And it's Mikkel Klostermann who leads into the first bend. Lots of smoke and screeching tyres, but it seems that they've all made it round without too much drama. Now here it is again from on board with Hans Hartmann, who chose to take the inside line. That was a wise decision, taking Bjørn Tvedt, and now he's up to 4th place and counting. But it's very, very tight as they try to pick their way round without damaging any bodywork. In the lead, it's Klostermann's BMW. It's a new paint job and new times for the driver from near Copenhagen. Mikkel Carlsen has changed cars and hopped into another Peugeot for this class. And he's currently 2nd, just ahead of André Falkenhaug in his Ginetta and Hartmann in his Honda. After Padborg Park, where Klostermann said his Beamer handled like a Bambi on ice, he identified the problems, put them right, and now it drives like a dream. And he already has a small lead which is getting bigger and bigger. Let's go on board with Hartmann, and it looks like a... Oh, and the nippy Ginetta has passed Carlsen to move into 2nd place. Falkenhaug won his class last year in the Norwegian Championships, and it looks like he'll win again this year. So it's Klostermann competing in his first lap. Falkenhaug, Carlsen, Hartmann, and then the 2nd Ginetta of Stefan Andre Fiet. And it seems that they've already established a little pocket from the rest of the field, with Klostermann in absolute control out in front. Thanks to the changes he made after Padborg Park, he's beginning to realise his potential. They were just small changes like replacing a broken sensor and tightening up the steering, but now he feels like he's got a new car and he's driving with the confidence that brings. 2nd is André Falkenhaug, who's 27 and comes from Oslo and is one half of the Ginetta Team Norway. Hartmann has a new engine and fiberglass doors, and his Honda is much lighter now. Klostermann is planning to drive Barcelona's 24-hour race, and he's having a short, sharp practice here today. Falkenhaug is finding it difficult to shake off the attention of Mikkel Carlsen, who knows his way around Jyllandsring like the back of his hand. The leader had written off this year's championships after a series of poor results. Maybe a successful Grand Prix will cause him to re-evaluate his chances. And this is Martin Vettel. He's the overall championship leader from Odense, and he'll be trying to make up ground in the top 5. But he's a long way down at the moment, but there's plenty of time yet. Klostermann completing another lap, and this is Tor Brynildsen in his heavy Audi. The 61-year-old Norwegian told me he climbed a mountain in his vacation and then painted his house. Well, he certainly had an active holiday. And Klostermann actively increasing his lead. He rides enduro on a hobby basis if he has the time. Back with 22-year-old Martin Vettel in his Corsa. It may be a Corsa chassis, but inside it's a top-tuned Honda engine with everything that goes with it. He's a winner by nature, and I'm sure just driving after points is not quite his style. Bjarne Mortensen and his white Peugeot in close company with Christian Weibu's BMW. Christian comes from northern Jutland, where he has his own workshop, and he's happy with his new motor. The leader already coming round to lap the tail enders, and again this is where he needs to be very, very careful and make sure he's seen when he's passing. Back to Mortensen and Weibu, who seem to have a very close relationship. 66-year-old Bjarne is from Copenhagen, where he has his own business. Vettel slowly working his way forward. the student from the University of Southern Denmark, concentrating on the job at hand. On board with Hartmann, and that's the Janetta of Stefan Andre Fiet moving through into 4th place. He's only 22 years old and is studying economics in Oslo. Oh, and it looks like the relationship is getting serious. Oh, really serious. But Mortensen maintaining his 8th place at the moment, but this looks like an ongoing story, maybe a never-ending story. Bjarne looking to add to the 42 points he picked up in Norway in June in the Nordic Cup. In his quieter moments he plays bridge, if in fact he has any quieter moments. In the Mortensen-Weibu saga, Weibu has his eyes on 3rd place in this class, so he's doing everything he knows to get past the driver from Copenhagen. His motto must be, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Klosterman on his final lap, he's done the business and has a 20-second lead over 2nd place Falkenhaug. And it's now or never for Weibu. Oh, braking late, taking Mortensen on the outside. Mission accomplished, I guess. Martin Vedel picking up good points in both the Nordic Cup and his class in the Special Saloon Championships. But here's the main man, Mikkel Klosterman. It's been a perfect weekend for him and just the practice he needed for his venture in Barcelona. So here's the result. Mikkel Klosterman 26 seconds ahead of Andre Falkenhaug, with Mikkel Carlsen taking a well-deserved 3rd place. Now let's have some after-race comments.
Yeah, it was a lovely feeling to drive in the car now. I really felt good in it. All the adjustments starts working, and I have set a personal best time out here all time on this track, so I'm very satisfied.
So it looks like it's going to end up a good season for you.
Well, it started bad, but it's going the right way, and I'm looking forward for the next races as well.
Times seem to be changing for you.
Yeah, I had luck this time. I saw the flag, so that was really nice. I had a good start again, took 3 positions and tried to catch up with Carlsen. But Carlsen is a good driver, we know from before and in the DTC days, but I had a good speed, a good pace. I think it went quite well.
So were you happy with the way the race went?
Yeah, it was okay for me. The goal all the time was just to win this Nordic Cup, and I knew that a 4th place would be enough to win the championship, and I saw I was in 3rd place, so I was pretty pleased with that.
And it's a good opportunity to get some customers with us and see some good racing. Yeah. It's a sport, it's an event with some excitement and action, and it has everything.
Well, that's it from Jyllandsring in Denmark, and until the next time, this is Roger England saying stay safe and bye for now. Bye. Sunoco Special Saloons is brought to you by HP Electronics.